Hello. Right, I think we're working. So we'll just pretend we haven't been chatting just before this, and we'll go for it.
Okay,
So, hello, how you doing? Good?
good. Thank you very
Good.
much.
Cool. So obviously, everyone watching this, we are doing an interview because you've been a client with me for, do you even know how long now?
Um, well, it's got a Cameron's too, so it's more than 2 years.
2 years. So you have been
Definitely more.
one of the OGs of the group. You were here
Mm.
before I was even doing Transform X.
Yes. Yeah.
That's actually quite good. That's good to know, actually. I'll talk about that a little bit on the call. So, firstly, I want you to introduce yourself. Okay. What I want you to do is share a little bit about your background, your lifestyle before starting this. Okay. It's a long time ago. You're probably a different
Yeah.
person now, but just a brief
Mm.
introduction.
Okay. Hi, I'm Rebecca. Okay, so before starting with Jake, myself and my husband, we run a pub and we lived in the pub at the time. And I was I just had my first baby, I think, after when I started with you, Josephine. And my lifestyle was a bit all over the place. Running a pub, we've never done anything like that before, so it was very, very new to us, and we didn't really have many routines in place. Especially myself, it was a bit all over the place. Food, especially, was a bit all over the place. Lots of takeaways. We do street food on a Friday night, so there was lots of that. Chip van on a Wednesday, lots of that. I didn't drink heavily, but there I drank more, if that makes sense. So there was more occasions to drink. Um, then yeah, so I had my first child, Josephine, and during that pregnancy, I was put on bed rest. So I did pretty much no activity whatsoever, and I ballooned. Ate a lot of cake.
I love
Yes, and did no exercise. So I became quite heavy. And before running the pub, I had a physical job. I used to run an equestrian yard, so I was working physically all the time. So I didn't really have to think about what I ate as much because I was constantly
it.
moving.
Yeah.
Um, but then obviously everything then changed. But my eating and things didn't. So yeah, I just got
Cool.
quite large.
So you're essentially a very active person, went to someone
Yeah.
that wasn't very active, plus you're around influence of pub
Yes.
stuff.
Yes.
Cool. That's good. Cool. So next
And new
question.
baby, first baby as well, you
First
know.
baby killer.
Yeah.
The shock to the system. I know that, and I'm not even a woman. Honestly,
Massive shock
brutal,
to the system.
brutal. Okay, so what were some of the challenges other than obviously putting on weight or having a baby? Like before, did you find any challenges with food? Did you understand food well? Was there anything that was a
Um,
problem back then?
I think growing up, I've always felt bigger than people in my age. Like at school, I was always, well, I look back now and I realize that actually I probably wasn't as big, but
Yeah,
as I thought I was. But yeah, I've always been more than the average. And I've felt that consciously throughout my life. But I've also had periods where I've put on lots of weight, but then gone down again. It's always fluctuated. I've tried many, many diets in the past, um, all of which now I know are complete crap. Um, apart from this one, obviously.
I like it.
Although I don't call this a diet, so
This is it. It's a lifestyle.
yeah, it's a lifestyle, definitely.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think I mean, I went to university, put on lots of weight there because I just drank quite a lot and partied. Um, but then had the physical job. So then when I came out of that, I was losing weight and got really fit. I've always been an active person, whether I've been overweight or not. I've always been, I like being active. I like being physically active.
perfect. Cool. So you'd probably say you before your did you have a good relationship with food?
Um, I think I didn't really have a relationship with food because I didn't really think about it, if
Yeah,
that
you
makes sense. I
just ate
didn't,
when you wanted to
for a
eat.
portion of
Didn't
my life, I didn't have to think about it because it didn't matter because I was so
yeah,
physical. Um, the food thing at university, I did eat crap, but I wasn't bothered. I was having a great time.
Everyone
I
does.
drank a lot, ate a lot.
Yep.
Didn't really bother me that much until afterwards, and then you're like, oh, look at me
Yeah.
now.
That's fine. That's good. It's good to know. It's good. I'm getting, to be honest, I bloody forgot about some of this stuff that you're talking about. It's been that long. We're talking about. It's good. Um, okay. When you first joined, okay, what were your initial goals and expectations of just me? It was me as just turned an online coach back then.
Yeah, so I started on the 10-day, whatever it was. I can't
Free
remember what you
challenge.
called it. Yeah, free challenge, 10-day free challenge. And I think I'd literally got to a point where I couldn't cope with looking at myself anymore. And to be fair, I had done a diet previous, which did lose some weight, um, but I gained it all back again and realized that wasn't the best way to go. So needed something new. And I don't know how, but you popped up on Facebook and I just thought, okay, let's do it. It's free. Let's try it
Yeah.
and give it my best shot.
Cool. And
So
then
that's what it is.
you joined probably just an online program that I had back then.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah. So my expectations,
oh,
sorry.
of course, yeah, yeah, yeah. I forgot myself
Yeah.
there.
So I don't think I really had any expectations of you personally and what you were going to do. I think my expectations were more on me. It's 10 days, it's free, make the most of it, and it can't hurt, basically. So I didn't really, I suppose I did think I'll be doing exercises and they'll probably give me some form of
Food.
like different foods or whatever to eat and a calorie target maybe.
Yeah.
But above and beyond that, there was nothing
It's just
else.
it was a trial, wasn't it? You were just seeing how you
Yeah,
go. Yeah.
yeah,
Perfect. So obviously you joined the program. From there, I don't know how long it was. Let's say it was a period of probably 8 to 12 months. Yeah. Where you were kind of, I'll be honest, I was finding my feet with the online thing too. I was an
yeah,
in-person personal trainer. So your results were good, but I would have probably said they were like ticking over. Would you
yeah,
agree?
yeah,
And then we got you into obviously this new program that I started, which is Transform X.
yeah,
From there, we obviously went through trackers. We put more data
yeah.
onto you, didn't we? We started to be a bit more serious about it.
Yes, and I think for me as well, like I took a break away from you for a bit because I had another baby.
Yeah, I remember. I forgot.
So I know. Have three now. Gosh, it's
Yeah,
yeah. So yeah, I took a break for a bit and I think coming back, that's when I noticed a big difference in what you were doing
yeah,
as to what you were doing before. But since being back again, you've upped it another level. So, I've kind of seen like three different changes in what we're doing, and yeah, whatever you do, well, what you're doing now is working. So, I mean,
perfect.
it's always worked, but it has
Yeah,
got better and
yeah.
better.
I think we got a bit more serious about it. Like before, it was
Yeah,
more of a group. Then it was a bit of one-to-one, but it was like
yeah,
it was all right. And then I noticed with you, and you could probably see on the data on the trackers, before you were sending me kind of like a weekly brief of what you're doing. It was kind of a
yeah,
bit blasé. And
yeah,
then we got a bit more serious with the numbers. Like, right, I
yeah,
want you to do this. Do this
yeah,
by next week. If you can do them three things, you're gonna get
yeah,
results.
yeah.
And that's what's happened. So that's perfect. Um, what surprised you most about coaching in general compared to just doing a diet?
I think because the system that you're doing now focuses on pretty much everything, not
The
just food
lifestyle.
and exercise, I've realized how important those little tiny details are in making up the bigger picture.
Yeah,
So the amount of sleep that you get, looking back on your week and saying, "Oh, I felt really crap that day," and that might be correlated to that. And I can see now what's going on and why that might be happening.
yeah. Like a
Why
global
maybe
approach.
my digestion has been really crap this last week. Oh, I
Yeah,
had hardly any fiber.
Yeah.
for the last 6 days. So I can look at it and now I realize that all those little tiny things, getting as many of those near as perfect as possible, is going to help with the
Everything.
overall picture.
Yeah. So most people focus on nutrition, trying to hit a calorie target even though they're eating rubbish, and they
Yeah,
try and exercise as much as they can until they hate exercise. Whereas
yeah,
realistically, if they haven't got their lifestyle sorted, sleep, food decisions, planning,
yeah,
that's the stuff that makes the difference. I was missing it myself. That's probably the difference between the programs.
yeah,
I wasn't doing the lifestyle stuff to start with.
yeah.
That's what's I realized something was missing, so that's perfect. Cool. How has your relationship with food, exercise, and self-care changed?
Okay, so with food, I most of the time, not always, but I consider before I eat or before I make a decision. And if it, for instance, if it's one of those moments where it's, shall we have chicken tonight or shall I go to the chip shop? I'm better at making a decision.
Yeah,
Yes, I don't always make the right decision, but on the back of that, if I make the wrong decision, I've now got the knowledge to be able to rectify it later on, if that
100%.
makes sense.
Yeah,
So I'm actually analysing everything that I eat, but not in an anal way.
not in an obsessive way. It's kind of
You
like
know, I'm not obsessive about it at all.
you understand
Um,
the system now.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. How about training?
I don't do as much of it as I really want to, I think, but that comes down to busy lifestyle and fitting it in. My sleep has always been a bit up and down, so
Got
if
kids?
I'm lacking in energy, I'd struggle to get up
Yeah,
and get going. But I do find I have better weeks, have some weeks where I hardly fit anything in, but I do try and maintain my 10,000 steps every day, and I think I pretty much do that, if not more,
yeah.
just by, living. I don't have to go out for a walk to get
Chasing
them.
chasing kids around.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a,
But I actually I enjoy working out. Um, I mean, I've literally started running, and I don't run. I'm not a runner. So I also had an operation on my foot, I think, just before I came to you. I can't remember. So when I put on a lot of weight, that really impacted my how much I could exercise, because when I was heavier, it would basically hurt my foot more.
yeah,
I had it operated on, it's pinned and plated and all sorts. So I found the more weight I've lost, the more active I can become.
yeah.
And now I never thought I would be running, but I actually am, and I can run 5K without dying now, which is like
Bang on.
amazing.
The
Yeah,
dream. There's a good lesson there, like from what you've just said, because if I look back, there has been periods of probably up to a month where you haven't really exercised at all.
yeah,
And there's a good lesson in that because there's a lot of people here that are like, oh, I don't like exercise, and I'm like, you still can get results without it to a
yeah,
point.
yeah. No, you
Yeah.
can. Yeah,
Yeah. With that weight thing that you just said, did you know you are 17 kilo down now?
I did. Yeah.
We need we need to do more measurements because I haven't got any recent ones. But
I know. I'm really
um,
very quite bad at that, and I think for a while I probably got my measurements wrong,
what do you
like
mean?
doing it myself, because I did use two different tape measures, and then I know the the second lot you gave me was like, well, there's not much difference. And I thought, no, there's got to be. I'm in like jeans I haven't worn for years.
Yeah,
And then I did check the tape measures, and one was like cut off at the bottom. No, I know. So they were all wrong. But
I'll
at
send
least
you another one in the
I
post.
knew in myself that,
Yeah,
you know,
cool.
it was changing.
We'll get some anyway. The last photos we did, which were probably months ago, like six
Yeah,
months, there's a
yeah.
massive difference. So since then, you've probably lost another 5 kilo.
I think yeah, probably. Yeah.
So it's huge, really. It's
Yeah.
like amazing. Um, would you say you look after yourself more?
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
How?
Um, well, I'm more conscious that I need to get better sleep. I need to drink water. I need to eat fiber.
Yeah.
I need to have my protein. Um, and I think those four things are my biggest things that I try and work towards.
Yeah.
Over and above like the calories and the exercise, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
If I can hit my fiber and my protein targets, I'm not too worried if I'm 200 calories over because I can
Yeah.
deal with that later.
And you're
But
full, and you've got your
yeah,
stomach working the way it should. Like,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
exactly. And I do notice a difference, definitely. I mean, the last couple of days, I've drank 4 liters of water each day, and I've not had to eat as much because I'm
yeah,
fuller and I feel better.
yeah.
So,
People
you know,
underestimate the simple things. They just don't
yeah,
do it. So,
yeah.
and I still say it, I say it every week in your check in. You are the best client I've got with your fiber by far.
I mean, right at the start, I found it really difficult to hit 30 grams of fiber. Really difficult. I'd get I'd eat a bowl of like a chicken salad or something, and there'd be like 13 grams or if that, and I'd be
Yeah,
like,
probably
oh,
less.
how am I gonna eat
Yeah,
less calories but eat more fiber? And now I don't know. I just eat so many vegetables.
yeah.
I mean,
Every week it's just like target hit, target hit,
yeah.
target hit.
Beans. That was
Oh,
a big game changer for me. Thank you,
that's all
Jake.
right.
Beans.
Beans, broccoli, and berry. That's the key.
Yeah, LD, can of mixed beans.
There you go. Honestly, you won't ever beat that combination.
So
No way.
there's protein in them as well, which is
Yep.
brilliant. So you're hitting both at the same time.
Yep. As long as you're not eating a whole tin, which you won't because your stomach will be in bits, to be honest. So it's
Yeah.
all good. Cool. So let's say someone's watching this and a clip here. If they was on the fence of like joining Transform X and the new program and what we're doing, what would you say to them if they was on the fence?
Um, I think if they were going to take anything on at all, and they were just thinking about it and on the fence, I think they need to be in their brain that they want to do it
100%.
to start off with. Because if you're
100%.
just gonna go into it and think, "Oh, I'll just give it a go,"
Yep.
you're already on the back burner. Like for me, I got to a point where that free challenge came up. I've got nothing to lose. I'm going to make the most of it.
Yep.
And then once you're in and you're doing it and you start to see results, obviously then it's going to be a lot easier.
Yep.
And I think it's not it's not just this program isn't just for people who want to lose weight, if I'm going to be honest. It's for people who want to better their lifestyle and become healthier
100.
and be able to do those things that everybody worries that they're not going to be able to when they get older.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know,
Absolutely class.
so
Yeah. I agree. It's not about getting ripped and don't get me wrong, you're going to look better in a bikini, you're going to look better in clothes, you're going to feel more confident, but it's
yeah,
not about you just looking good, like, because you can always look good like bodybuilders and stuff, but you don't feel good
yeah,
inside. So if
yeah,
we can get that whole package going, that's the key. So
yeah. And I think for mums especially, what I found really difficult was um, making myself a priority because
yeah,
especially having 3 children, I've got and a husband, so I have four children, 2 dogs. But oh God, I've got loads of kids.
yeah,
So like I think especially for mums, we always put everybody else first, make sure they're fed, make sure they're drinking enough, making sure they're getting enough sleep. Making sure they're clean, healthy, getting their teeth brushed. There's always something to do to make sure that everybody else is okay. So it was at the start that was really hard to prioritize myself on occasion and actually say, you know what, I'm doing this morning, so I'm
drop
doing my
off.
workout this
Yeah,
morning. I need to do this. I need to go for a walk. I have to do this. It's going to make me a better person. And I've been quite strict on that. And I've noticed like when that drops off, I start to feel really crappy.
yeah,
And
and then
that's when I get like snappy with the
there you
kids
go,
and I
I was
get
about to say that.
grumpy and moody. So actually you have to be a priority.
Yeah.
You do.
People always think like, oh, but the kids need this, and I'm like, you would be better for the kids just
Yeah,
by giving yourself that little bit of time, and it takes a lot
yeah,
less time than you think.
yeah. And I've been through that, so I know it works.
Yeah, perfect.
So,
Any closing thoughts? Any questions you want to ask me or share for anyone before we
um,
finish up?
no questions for you, I don't think. I'm very happy with the system, how it works, what I'm doing. Um, who knows where I'll be in the next 6 months to a year.
By Christmas, it's August
And yeah,
now.
if anyone is thinking, I don't know, maybe you're already in the program and you're not maybe doing as well as you want to, just follow the advice and just do what you're told.
Do the work.
And another thing is don't get despondent as well. If you don't hit your targets, if you don't lose as much weight as you want to, it'll come. Mine's been a long process. Yes, I've lost 17 kilos, but it's been done right. It's been done in ways where I've still been able to enjoy eating, drinking on holiday, taking a break, sometimes a bit longer than I probably should. But I've not in one way deprived myself of a decent life and a
Yeah,
decent meal, you know. And it works. So
yeah,
yeah, just follow the steps, do what you're told as much as you can. So
perfect.
yeah.
Yeah. Closing thought on that, like people that think they're going to do it in 6 weeks, you can do it, but the quicker it comes off, the quicker it will go back on because you're not
Yeah.
learning anything about lifestyle, about food.
No.
Part of this process is failing a lot.
Yeah.
Coming into your check-in
Yeah,
and
and you've got
going,
to get comfortable with that
yeah,
as
coming,
well.
yeah, coming
And
to your check-in,
sometimes I'm not still. Like I'll go have a really bad week and when I'm at check-in, I'm like, I've had a really bad week and it's not gone this and it's not done that. And you'll be like, yeah, but look at this or
yeah.
look at that. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, it's not that
You,
bad.
it's about dropping the thing that you got to hang up with and just
Yeah.
thinking like, I'm not dwelling on this week. It's just straight back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the quicker you can fail forward, the better results you'll get. You'll prove your testament to it. So
Yeah.
perfect. I'm gonna stop the recording in a minute. Thanks for
Okay.
watching, guys. Yeah, great.
Thank
Okay.
you.